And with everything that we're doing, we're still nowhere near the way that we would normally instinctively react if a child had a physical illness. A child has physical illness, we know we have one job. Spoil them, be there for them. You can't heal them. That's the job of a doctor. That's the job of the whatever. And they may not make it. They may make it. They may not make it. Not up to you. It comes to this sugya of off the derech, of drugs, of depression, anxiety. All of a sudden, people go ahead and they put the parents as if you're going to heal the kid. Don't give them money. Give them rules, consequences, boundaries. And now, instead of being the support of the child going through a hard time, which we would naturally do, we remove that support and we become part of the problem. You can't fix their problem. The only thing you can do is give them a mom and a dad. And that actually helps them. And by taking away a mom and a dad, you're actually giving them an additional trauma. They can't even deal with their original pain and whatever is causing them hurt and dysfunction, and it pushes them away. There's not one way to win. You don't gain physical, spiritual, emotional, psychiatric, nothing. And yet that's the advice. Oh, rules, tough, be tough, be tough. Go ahead. We have hundreds of parents who tried that. V'loi also biyadam. It didn't help. Because how could it help? Someone has a hole in their head and blood pouring out. Is rules going to help them not have blood pouring out? Is going to make a kid who's dysfunctional functional because you told them, if you're not going to function, get out of my house? Now they could function? If you tell them, I'm not giving you money, then they don't have everything? They're the most enabled people in the world. As soon as a new phone comes out, there's two groups of people that get it. The richest people and the kids on the street. They have everything. They're totally enabled. Because if you don't give them and you don't supply them and you're not there for them, they'll find other people who are. And then they are loyal, getrai, to those people and those influences. And you lost out the only thing you could possibly do for your child to be a part of their life and to be a positive influence on them. As long as they're home and you're the one who they're thankful for, you have a chance of influencing them. Which is why all the tzaddikim say, influence. Power of influence. Be good to them. Smile at them. Your smile has to be bigger to them than anyone else on the street. They have to feel more welcome in your house than anywhere else. But that means that you're not going to criticize the way they dress. Because then you lost the patient. What do you mean? You let them do whatever they want? We have to save their life and we have to heal them. And the kids who are totally accepted, they end up changing from the inside and they become much more respectful. You win everything. I think that we have enough percentage of victories here that the kids whose parents treat them with TP, the parents get what they want. Make a list. All of you, I started that a few years ago. I asked you, give me a short list of what you're trying to achieve. With Hashem's help, in a few months, you're going to see it's all there. You did it all. The kids who are violent are no longer violent. It takes, we have great success. Let's call it 99%. Let's call it 90%. I think it's higher. We will get you what you want. But people think the way to get it is by forcing them and confronting them. No. Probir mit gittens. Go with good. You get what you want. So it's not that we want drugs. It's not that we want dysfunction. It's not that we want Chil Shabbos. It's like these people, they say, oh, I know what you say. Every family has to accept their children no matter what and buy them a dog and McDonald's and whatever craziness. Like, no. We want to save their lives, especially the ones who are on drugs, especially the ones who have deep, deep, deep pain, which is really most of our group that we deal with. But even those who are spiritually not interested, you think they're going to become interested by using the Torah as a baseball bat and bashing them in the face with it in the name of God? It makes it impossible. So if you're being makar of somebody to Judaism, it's only with love. It's only with smiles. Never rejection. Never, you have to. You have to. There's no, you have to. What does it mean you have to? Okay, you lose the patient. I have to? I won't be here. I won't come. Like I always say, the father usually says, Azoy kim sits the Shabbos tish. That's the way you come to the Shabbos table. The father thinks there's two choices. That he comes in his underwear, or he comes dressed properly. But those are not the real choices. The choice is he comes to the Shabbos table or he doesn't come to the Shabbos table. And if that's the choices, then yes, he should come in his underwear. Nebuch, what happened to your kid that you raised beautifully in beautiful chinuch and you paid a lot of money for schar limud, for tuition, and now doesn't feel comfortable, to put on pants. Okay, there's a reason for it. And I feel terrible for you. I feel worse for the chayla himself, for the patient himself. Something happened here. But if those are the choices, and we do this naturally with physical illness, would we tell someone who has cuts on their head, let's say they fall down a flight of stairs, and then the whole head was burned and full of stitches, and he can't wear a yarmulke, it hurts him. In my house, you have to wear a yarmulke. The guy's going to be like, you're Russia. You sick people. And he's going, ow, let's say he's a frum boy. He wants to wear the yarmulke. We would tell him, Chaim, no, it's not what Hashem wants. He's raw skin and blood and stuff. No, you're not allowed to. It's a yarmulke. It's beautiful. We know why we didn't become off the derech, but it's not. We're going to go to someone who this hurts them. And if you don't wear a yarmulke, you can't go to a Shabbos table. If you don't wear, in this house we wear a yarmulke. Then they're going to want to wear a yarmulke? Says the Nesiva Shalom. So beautiful. We should make billboards. Somebody out there, please, pay for a billboard and put it in the world. Everyone should see it. He says, chinuch amiti, real chinuch, real education, is not to pressure the child to behave properly. Chinuch amiti, einoi la'achriach es hachanich lehis nahagos toiva. It's not to pressure the child. Once you're pressuring the child, it means you didn't educate them. Educating them, chinuch amiti, einoi la'achriach es hachanich lehis nahagos toiva, ela lahavi yisai kedei sheyirtza b'zeh. It's to bring them to want it. Now you did that. These kids are frum. You did a beautiful job of chinuch. Somebody from the outside hurt them, or from the inside hurt them terribly. And now they're dysfunctional and they can't behave. Once you're pressuring somebody, then you're trying to overpower their ratzon. They can never ever do ratzon Hashem through that. You have to realize that we have to do what works. So what happens is with physical illness, we would never dream of thinking that I'm supposed to, I have to heal the cancer. I have to heal the illness. Mom and dad, you have to. If you don't, it's your fault. You know how many parents told me before coming here? They were meant to feel bad. It's your fault. Like now you're supposed to control this out of control teenager. Ha! Right? You were able to control them when they were 3, 4, 5, I don't know, till 8, 9, or 10. And now there's 15, 16, 17, angry, out of control. And every time you try to control, you see that they get worse. And all of a sudden, F you, drop dead. I'm going to dance on your grave. Don't come to my... And they're hurting themselves. We have parents who, after criticizing their kids, the kids cutting themselves, suicidal, feeling rejected, and they're still told, he wants you to show him that you're really there for him. Don't stop. Like when? Until the kid's dead? They crave boundaries. They're craving boundaries. Meshuggah? You crazy? The kid is sick. They want to die. They don't want to live. They're suffering. They're craving boundaries. They're craving daddy and mommy to look at them with anger and to say, you're not welcome here. So people say, okay, so in the middle, try to do both. They either feel accepted or they feel rejected. That's what changed. Kids are so hypersensitive that you even give a look, one little look, they know you're not happy with me, and they find other people who are. They're dying, literally, to be accepted. Don't look at my tattooed body and my color hair and my lack of dress. Like me. And then they get so offended. And I'm not sure that they're wrong, that if I had a beard and thing, then you would like me, but the guy who molested me looked like that, but then I would be fine. But if I look like this, I'm the problem in Klal Yisrael. Because I have a ponytail or a man bun. That's the problem. But the guys who hurt me, they're fine. They're still quiet. We'll send them to a different community. That's craziness that we have going on. Nobody knows what to do. So we send them to Passaic. And then the guy molested community gets caught at Passaic, send them to Baltimore. And Baltimore sends to Cleveland, sends to Chicago, they send to New York. Everyone moves around on the plane, molester airlines, and molesters are coming and going. Rahman al-Islam, different topic. Bottom line is, to our kids, it's like, and I'll prove it to you. I learned everything from the Home Sweet Home Boys. Everything. I learned, they opened my eyes. And I'll tell you why it happened. I'm not smart. The reason why I was Zoicha, why I merited that people should teach me this and I should know the sugya, I know I'm not smart. I didn't think I was smart. So I was an open book without opinions, and I just asked them. Like when one of them got a tattoo, and I just said to him, no judgment, nothing. I just said, what made you do that? I want to know. And he told me I was going to kill myself. And I got a tattoo instead. I said, oh, that's great. I think you did the right thing. Right? If those are your choices, no, I think you did the right thing. I said, but how did it make you feel better? I was inquisitive. I didn't think I know. But all these people talking, as soon as they go like this, they're wrong. You saw that? That face, wrong. They don't know what they're talking about. Everybody who's helping people here are calm, cool, and collected, and are listening to understand the sugya. So in Home Sweet Home, one guy had to go out on a train through a really bad neighborhood. And I said to him, I was sitting with a bunch of guys, and they were like 3-4 guys with me, and I was sitting schmoozing, and I said, "Oh, that's a dangerous neighborhood." And he turns to me and he says, "None of them ever hurt me." You know what a dangerous neighborhood is? Shul. He was molested in shul. You know what a dangerous neighborhood is? A frum neighborhood. Those are the dangerous people in my life. And I listened and I said, oh. His perception, he knows he was hurt by us, but he doesn't know yet, so he's like, you think they're dangerous? Pfft, you guys are dangerous. That's his perception. Nebuch, someone who's stabbed by somebody from, that's how they look at us. And that's why many of them say all the rabbis are molesters. That's how they talk. What do you have against all the rabbis? First of all, how do you know it's true? All? There's never met a rabbi who wasn't a molester? And some of them we're not even molested by rabbis, but they have this, they don't trust us. We're all bad, we're all rotten, we're all covered up. How did that happen? How did that happen that the child's mind became so anti-us? And how are we going to fix that? That's the sugya. And it happened because they were hurt by people who are from, in the name of Torah, against the Torah. In the name of Hashem, against Hashem. Hashem is kindness and compassion. And they were hurt, and they were rejected. And then as they became dysfunctional, they were judged, and they were hurt, etc., etc., etc. They have a lot of pain. And how are we going to fix that? With more rejection? By saying, you don't know how to behave, you don't have any respect. You don't know how to respect. Okay, now they're going to learn how to respect? The way we're doing it, and you're edus, and the new parents, you've got to reach out to the older TP parents, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and you'll see that the things that you're up against can change. You don't have to live like that. You're going to have peace in your home. You're going to have peace with each other because you don't argue anymore. And over time, the family has to all be a part of this, and everyone should gain. We have so many families that all the siblings feel we have gained from this whole thing. And then we have some that we have a lot of friction. We have to work on that. We have to work really hard with the siblings. Today I had a family meeting with a new family. 5 younger siblings, amazing. And they're already here 3 weeks. And they said, and I asked them, did anybody notice any change? And all of them said positive change, major positive, in 3 weeks. You trained with them. They were so happy. So I said, oh, it's easier for me to convince them that this is right, because their lives are much easier when their brother or sister in tremendous pain is calmer. That makes their lives better. They're not living in this agony, and daddy's not angry and screaming and running around the house in his underwear with a baseball bat, trying to make more rules and conditions and consequences, and angry and crying, and mommy's crying, and then they're fighting with each other. Who can grow up like that? All of a sudden, mommy and daddy are calm. They're on the same page. And they're being kind. And they're being nice to the other kids. And they're like, who are these people? I just had this outside yesterday after group. The mother told me, by the way, you changed my husband. Not just for the kid, because all the kids are happy. We're talking about married kids, in-laws. They say, it's amazing. We have a calm, happy, loving father and father-in-law that we never had. I said, oh, okay. I'm very happy to hear that. So the idea is we should all grow by being understanding. We do this naturally for physical illness. The entire training is to respond internally with not a physical illness the same way that we would naturally do it. We give up. Physical illness, you move, boom. You find out there's a chas v'shalom something on the x-ray, and they say, okay, you go to the whoever your askin is, and they say, okay, you got to move to Omaha, Nebraska for 2 years maybe to get a kidney. How long are you going to think about it? I don't know about the other kids. What school they're going to go to? 5 seconds, not even. This is obviously what we're going to do. We're not going to tell the kid, sorry, you got to die because we're stuck here, nailed down. I just saw a meme. It says, if you're not comfortable in the place where you are, move. You're not a tree. Yes, but we do have roots where we are, and we don't want to move. Lech lecha me'artzecha was in the sign. Even though Hashem himself promised Avraham Avinu that you're going to get all good stuff if you go, it was hard. I know it's hard. But physical illness, how long are you going to think about it? I don't know. Kidney, maybe you can live with one kidney, maybe you won't live. I don't know. What am I going to do for Parnassa? What am I going to do with the kids? Done. You moved. Who didn't move? After you're here a couple of years, you realize that if it was physical illness, what would you do? And a lot of the training you'll hear from me when you have questions, if it was physical illness, what would you do? In the middle of the night, what would you do? You'd go to the hospital. You'd sit for a month on a chair and sleep on a chair and eat bikur chaylim food. And you wouldn't complain. And if anybody said, oh, yeah, I'm so sorry for you, you'd say, me? Don't worry. I'm a parent. I'm a mommy. I'm a tati. It's my job. And here, we need Mesiras Nefesh to understand that we have a problem, but we have a solution. But it does require a lot of Mesiras Nefesh, which you have. Can you imagine? I just told this to somebody recently. I'm like, my medication is to create a beautiful, loving relationship so you can go on vacation as much as possible. How can you people be complaining about this medicine? I didn't ask you to sit in a hospital. I didn't ask you to go to Siberia. Right? I just told you to go to Hawaii and to Costa Rica and to Cancun and to take your kid and to pump light and life and positive energy and give them something to look forward to. In 2 weeks, we're going again. In 4 weeks, it works. Rabbeinu Shalom, it works. If they would only come in, the insurance company should pay for it. It's cheaper than any other trauma therapy. We have kids who are dead, practically dead, and who are very much alive, brought to life. And if they better than Utah and boot camps, and I always say they don't need Utah, they need Utah. Right? Like the story I always say, when right after the training, he was standing right here at the desk. And the next day he came to me and he said, Avi, I gave my daughter an iPhone. I said, no, you gave your daughter a daddy. We're not giving stuff. People say, oh, you want to buy their love? No, you want to show them how much you care about them, and I'm providing for you so you don't need some pimple face guy to provide for you. And we're going to give you what you need, and we're going to pump your life up with fun because, yes, you deserve it. When you have 1,000,000 ounces of pain and darkness in your brain that you did not earn and you did not deserve, you didn't ask for, that other people did to you, you also are entitled to ding, 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 ding. Johnny, tell them what they won. Look backstage. Yes, you have won a trip to Hawaii, Costa Rica, Miami, and whatever, all these places. Yes, that's what you get when you go through trauma, childhood trauma, or you feel sick, or you're depressed. And we take physically sick kids, and we take them on vacation. Oh, don't spoil them. Can you believe that? People say, are you going to spoil them? We're trying to keep them alive, trying to get them off drugs, off of their addictions. We're trying to make them stable, functioning, happy, so if all of that works out and they're spoiled, I'll be very happy. So we'll have one more spoiled Jew in the world. I can deal with that. We'll tell them to marry rich and make sure that your father-in-law has a helicopter. But what we have proven is that by then they're not even spoiled, they're appreciative. We've proven this over and over and over and over again. But that would be a problem. Oh, they're going to be spoiled. They want you to set boundaries. It's like they just don't understand the sugya. Look what we're doing. Look what we're accomplishing. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of parents. And yet, what gives me great tsar is that there are new parents right now going through what you people went through for years for no reason and paying good money for it. Paying good money for it, for advice that's going to lead them down, down, down. And they know it gets worse and worse and worse. And they say, oh, call 911. Nothing to do. Can't live like that. Teach us how to de-escalate the situation. What are we coming to you for? Teach us how to make the kid better. Well, you have to sign a contract. Anybody sign contracts? It lasted 4 hours. And it's like parents know that after you finish buying a building or buying a house or you sign the contract, it's over. All the negotiations over. So parents sign the contract and then they make a l'chaim, they relax. And it's like 10 minutes later, like boom, boom. It's like, I don't understand. We signed the contract. It was notarized. Your signature was notarized. How could this be? We had my lawyer and your lawyer, and we negotiated for a month. You're only going to come downstairs if you're wearing a shirt, and you're going to be thing, and you're not going to forget. And all of a sudden, you forgot the yarmulke again? How could it be? We signed the contract. It's so funny that people really think that you're gonna help somebody by signing a contract, like they're a tenant. Yeah, you're gonna accomplish it. They're gonna feel like a tenant. And it's the exact opposite of what they need. They need to feel that your home is sweet. Home, sweet home. And you can't have the rules that I had in Home Sweet Home. We've spoken about that in the past. I took in strangers. These are your kids, your babies. They need to have a sweet home, and you need to provide for them. And we do this naturally for physical illness. So back to my point. When it comes to heroin, it comes to cocaine, it comes to all drugs, whatever, all of a sudden the world says, parents, it's up to you. So instead of being supportive and loving while they go through crisis, all of a sudden now you're busy and you're going to meetings and you're fighting with him and you're standing by the door and I'm going to lock you out and your blood pressure is going through the roof. You're not helping anything. And all of a sudden they put you into the battle. Because statistically, if the parents are going to fight with the kid and not give money, that's going to make the kid better. What? I want to meet those kids. I want to meet the kid. I'm doing this for 20 years. I want to meet the kid who says, I was doing drugs, but my parents stopped giving me money. So I had no money. I couldn't do drugs anymore. So I quit. I just want to meet one. That's all. One. I was dropping out of school. I wasn't dressing tznius. My father said, if you go out like that, I'm throwing you out of the house. So I started dressing tznius. I went back to school, and now I'm married with 6 kids learning in Kailo. I love Hashem. I just want to meet the kid. Right? The kid starts growing out his hair, and he starts growing out, and the yarmulke is getting smaller, magically smaller and smaller, and he's wearing jeans, right? And he stops wearing tzitzis and tefillin, and the father says, if you're going to walk around the house like that, you're going to spoil all the other kids. You better come, we're going to be doing it. Or, nicely, please, I'm begging you, please. It's like going over to someone with fever and saying, please, I'm begging you, don't have fever. They don't want to behave this way. And until people understand the sugya, the advice is going to be wrong. Because you cannot be mechanech an illness. And you can't fight with an illness. And if somebody is not feeling inspired and a part of it for whatever reason, your job is to say, okay, long-term plan, we're going to get them inspired and interested in that. And that doesn't happen by pressure. Chinuch amiti einoi lahachriach es hachanech lehisnahagos tova, elo lahavi oisai, and now you're doing kiruv. They call this kiruv krivim, being makar of those who are close to you. I disagree, because they're a lot further than any rachaik in the world. Someone who's a Baal Tshuva, someone who's not from, grew up not from, Shabbos, hey, this is beautiful. You get to eat delicious food. You make a l'chaim. The whole family's together. It's beautiful. These kids is kiruv of the harbe yoser rachaik mikol harachaikim sheba'olam. They're so much further away because unfortunately it's painful, but Torah hurts them. Yiddishkeit hurts them. Our family hurts them. All the things that are beautiful about our life hurt them. They feel pain from it. That means that they're sick. They're not bad. They're hurt from it. And we have to heal that hurt.